And it's just a scary and uncertain time to be having a baby. That is what it is. I am trying to find joy in this crazy season. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. I'm an expecting first-time mom due with our baby boy at the end of May, and today I'm sharing our 33-week pregnancy update. I've been sharing my pregnancy journey here on YouTube, so if you want to stay tuned on future videos, and also I'm literally having a baby next month, which is crazy. I'm planning to be able to film the labor and delivery and all of that fun stuff, so definitely stay tuned. You can scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. But I've been following like the same format for all of these videos, and that is sharing the symptoms that I've experienced this week. Oh, and also sharing how big the baby is, and then baby prep that's happened, and of course show you that bump shot. So first up, how big is this baby? The app that I've been using is the Pregnancy Plus app, and it says that he is now 17.72 inches and 4.73 pounds. And I'm definitely feeling him. Like, he is like huge and rolling around a lot these days. So the symptoms that I've experienced more of this week, allergies. It's now officially allergy season, and I've shared this my entire like pregnancy journey, but I've really had really bad congestion and allergies, runny nose, basically since like week 10 of pregnancy. So I have like my tissue box sitting here at all times, but now that we're getting into actual allergy season, it's kind of a little bit worse. But also, I have been working from home for the last 3 weeks due to being in quarantine, and I've noticed that my allergies are like a little bit better during the day, which is interesting. So I don't know if I'm like allergic to something at work or what that could be, but I will say this last week I've been at home again this whole time, but I woke up in the middle of the night one night this week, and my eyes were super itchy, and it's never been that my eyes were itchy. It was always just runny nose, but now I've experienced like really itchy eyes and more nose blowing and runny nose and things like that. So I think it's just definitely becoming allergy season. So that's been fun. Just to have heightened allergies while I've been pregnant has been like an interesting symptom that I've experienced since basically the beginning. The next thing is movement at night. He is pretty active. I mean, like to some extent, like during the day, but it's always like right after I eat dinner and I'm like sitting down on the couch that he is moving around a lot. And the most that I feel is like he'll be just like, I don't know, pressing really hard up against like my belly, and I will feel him like put like something up on the top of like towards my ribs on my right side, and then something down on the left like by my pelvis. Like at the same time he's like stretching out like in opposite directions or something. I don't know what's happening, but that's been like an interesting thing that I feel him do every single night. Therefore I don't know if he's like in the right positioning or not. I don't have an ultrasound scheduled for another like few weeks. I think at like 36 or 37 they'll do like an ultrasound. So I'm praying that he's like in the right position for birth, and we'll see. But that's been like an interesting movement that I felt. Also, he's super active at night. It's always like right when I go to lay down to go to sleep is when he's really active and moving all around. So I think it's funny, like 10 o'clock every night, that's his time to like wake up and like move all about. So that's been fun though. It's like, it keeps me up for like a little bit because he's like moving around so much, but also it's just like super fun to like be able to feel him kick and move around and everything. The next thing is sore back. The last couple days I've just had a little bit more of a sore back. I just have to have Jacob like rub my back for a little bit every night, but nothing like too bad. I am really grateful that like physically I've still been feeling great during my pregnancy, which is awesome. Another symptom that I've experienced is bleeding gums. I have like an electric toothbrush, and even just when I brush my teeth like normal, I have bleeding gums almost every single time. So that's something that I've experienced like on and off during my pregnancy, but it's like come back like this week. I've had more like bleeding gums. So that's been interesting. All right, so now to talk about the baby prep that's happened this week. I know that I've shared about this for the last like few videos, and I know that a lot of you guys are also expecting to have babies within the next month or 2 months, or you know, right around the same time that I am. So I know that like most of you are feeling the same way that I am, and that's just the fact that it's scary to be pregnant right now. It is, like, in these times of uncertainty, and like things have been changing so quickly, and it's just a scary and uncertain time to be having a baby. That is what it is. Having to go into like labor and delivery at a hospital, having to go to doctor's appointments by yourself, having to not be able to have visitors with you. Like, these are all super valid concerns and feelings, and I'm feeling all of them too. I've expressed them in these videos, and I feel like I initially was planning on these videos to be just like, oh, symptom updates and here's how my glorious pregnancy has been. But it's the last like month, it's turned into more of like a video diary, I guess, of like, here's what's going on in the world, and it's a crazy time to be pregnant. So for the comments that I've received on these videos, 99% of them have been really positive, and also of you guys expressing like, wow, I'm glad that someone else feels the same way. I've been struggling with the same thing. So that's why I'm sharing this, is because I know I can't be the only one who's like stressed out about anything or just like anxious about what's going on, because this is such an uncertain time. But I also have had people respond and like comment on videos saying to like that I just need to get over it, or that like people are dying, like how that's ridiculous that you're concerned about these things. I absolutely do not want anyone to die from this sickness, and it's heartbreaking that people are, and I never once said that like I don't care that people are dying from this. I'm just sharing that this season has ended up looking a lot different than what I expected, and it's just a scary and uncertain time to be pregnant. So please know that I'm not trying to be like offensive to anyone who's been impacted with health of the virus that's going on. But instead I am just sharing my experience as a first-time mom of things that I'm going through and preparing for like right now in this season. So all that to be said, I feel like, again, 99% of you have shared that you're like feeling the same sorts of things, so I know I'm not alone. And I just want to share, like, it's okay for you to be upset that this season ended up being different than what you expected. Whether that's not having baby showers or maternity photos or going on a baby moon, like, you can totally grieve that this season isn't what you expected. And I'm going through that as well. I'm grieving that this season is different. Also trying to think about plans for what the hospitals will look like when I go in for delivery, and also grieving the fact that like my family may not get to see him for a while, which I'll talk about here. So it's totally okay to be like upset about it and grieving about it, and still know that like we're doing all of these things for the health and protection of everyone else around us, and that's obviously very important, and more important than a baby shower. I totally agree with that. And but you can still be like upset that those things aren't happening. So that's what I have to say about that. But other prep that we've done this week, so I actually got to wash all baby's clothes and start putting them in the dresser, which has been fun. Now that we've had all of this time at home, I've been working at home now for 3 weeks. And so I've just been like washing things and getting things ready, really trying to find joy in this season of this like really difficult season that I wasn't expecting, trying to find things that I can be really excited and joyful about. And so for me, that's been like getting more of his nursery ready. And we've been putting away more things there. Also, I shared on Instagram that I was like walking around his nursery and he was like kicking, and I was telling him all about like this room that we were preparing for him. And so just getting to like, I don't know, make those memories, because these are the memories that I'm going to have for the next couple months of just like being home and, you know, doing these basic essentials. And so just trying to like get excited about like the things that I can, and realize like baby's going to be here in this room, and like how special is that? Another thing that happened this week was my 32-week pregnancy appointment with my doctor. So things change very quickly as far as like the severity of the things going on. And I think that was just really what was like making me really anxious and fearful, was that 2 weeks ago, life looked so much different than what it does now. And it kept changing so rapidly, going from like, oh, just don't go to events of more than 250 people, to now being like, we're like, state of Oregon is on a like stay at home mandate. Like you can't go anywhere except going to the grocery store. And so it was just, things changed so quickly, and it was really scary. But also, with that being said, like doctor's appointment stuff has changed so quickly. And so my 32-week appointment, I got the call the day before the appointment to confirm it, and was told that Jacob can't come with me to any more appointments, that I need to come by myself. So that was something that was like a bummer that he wasn't able to come, but honestly I was totally expecting it because I've heard that other offices were doing the same. I've even heard that other offices were doing virtual appointments with their patients instead of having them come in. I go to a clinic that isn't like at a hospital or a medical facility, so I don't know if that makes it any different of why they let me come in, but I also know that I'm pretty far in my pregnancy, so I'm not sure, but I did get to go in for my 32-week appointment. Jacob just didn't come with me, and I noticed while I was there at the doctor's office, like it was dead. Like I think I was the only patient there. I like went in and gave my like urine sample at the beginning of the appointment, and I walked out of the bathroom at the clinic, and it was like I was the only patient there. There was no one in the waiting room, no one there at all. And then it was like all the nurses and the doctor and the ultrasound tech and the receptionist, like everyone was like standing around, like just like kind of shooting the breeze. Like they acted like I was the only person there. And so I got to just like kind of hang out and talk to them for a bit, which was actually kind of nice. So I assume that they've just like canceled non-essential appointments, but it was like just a really weird experience that I felt like I was the only one in the entire clinic. But I got to have a lot of time with my doctor, I think because of that, which was really nice actually. She's awesome. I really love my doctor. And she was really like reassuring with everything that was going on and was totally like, yeah, this is really like, this can be really scary, but was really hopeful. And you know, things changed so quickly. Again, a month ago, we had no idea that our lives would be this way. And I'm not due for another 7 weeks, and so who knows what life is going to look like in 7 weeks. We don't know. So with that, I'm trying to remind myself, like, I can't get worked up about this if I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know what the next 7 weeks is going to entail, so why should I stress about it now if I don't know what it's going to look like? I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for the worst of like the fact that maybe Jacob wouldn't be able to join me. I don't foresee that happening, just because like New York, I know that they were not allowing support partners for birth, but then they like changed that. So I don't know if that would happen here. I think that the likelihood of Jacob being able to be with me is very, very high. But that being said, it sounds like maybe by then hospitals still may have strict regulations on visitors, so I am not expecting that like my mom can be there for delivery, which is, I really would have loved to have my mom there. And then also to probably have to like not have any visitors for the first couple weeks of baby's life, which is like really sad to me. Like to think that our families won't even get to meet him for a couple weeks is like really sad. And that's like the thing that I'm grieving right now, is the fact of like, just we're not going to have all of that family time that I thought we were going to have, which is hard. And I've had people, like I shared about this on Instagram, and then I had people message me saying like, oh, well, you're going to be so lucky. It's really annoying to have visitors anyway. Like when I had a baby, oh, I didn't like having my mom there, or like didn't like having visitors. And like, that's fine that you didn't like having visitors, but everyone's different, and I'm really close with my mom and just really wish that she could have been there. And it's sad to me that she like won't get to. I don't know, you don't need to like come up with a silver lining of like, oh well, then you're lucky that you don't have visitors. No, well, that's not what I expected. That's not what I wanted. But I'm trying to remind myself that it probably will be the reality by the time that we have baby. So just trying to like prepare myself for that. And also just realizing that I'm going to be doing a lot of these things on my own that I thought I was going to have like family support with, of just like, you know, having my mom come over to hold him while I take a shower, or like while I take a nap or something. And just realizing like we're probably gonna have to do a lot of this stuff on our own because we're not gonna be able to have people see him. So again, just more of those things of like grieving the season. I feel like I've totally grieved like the fact that I don't get to do the fun pregnancy things, but now just realizing like, oh, like once he's here, life is going to be different than like what I expected having a newborn would be. So yeah, so that's kind of like the new thing that I'm like working through, and I'm doing okay. Like again, my biggest thing is I want him to be healthy, and I want for me to stay healthy as well. So those are my biggest priorities. But again, it's okay for it to suck that it's like that this just wasn't what I expected pregnancy and motherhood to be like because of the circumstances. But obviously we want to take the proper precautions to make sure that everyone is staying safe. But besides that, at my doctor's appointment, I did gain a pound from my appointment 2 weeks ago, so that was good. And also baby's just looking great. He's growing right on track. My belly has gotten a lot bigger, even though I've only gained a pound. Like, belly has grown perfectly, measuring to the right size, and heartbeat sounds great. So for that, I'm just really grateful that baby's healthy, that I'm healthy, and that's definitely like the highlight of all of this. And like the thing that I have the most to be grateful for is that like he's healthy. So that's my little update, but now here's to show you the bump shot. So here's a look at the bump here at 33 weeks. So thanks you guys so much for joining me and hanging out, and I just want you guys to know, like, we're all in this together. I know a lot of you guys are due around the same time, and there's just a lot of fear and anxiety going around of this uncertainty, but I'm just praying that we can like find joy in these final moments of pregnancy, and also just be able to like, yeah, just enjoy this season to the best that we can. So we got this, we're all in this together. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Say something that will make my day, 'cause these memories of her won't go away.